So, hello everyone. I think we took 5 minutes to let some people maybe grab a coffee or a cookie or whatever before joining our meeting. My name is Emin Dukeli. I am the chairman of the Swedish Institute New Future Global Leaders Network. And today I'm having with me also from our board member, Javid Valiev. And we're very happy to have you all of you today with us in this event. So our network is for impact network, meaning that we work on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And our event today tackles to work on the goals number 4 and number 10, which are quality education and reducing the inequalities. Today, also for our event, we're partnering with a European student think tank, and together we'll be tackling something that happens in the job market, which is meeting the needs between the offer and the demand. And from my personal experience is that it's not about the companies and it's not about the candidates, it's about bridging this gap between both. And I think we're very lucky also today for having insiders from a big organization, from the United Nations and from ABB Sweden, in order to help us better understand how we can work on this issue and give you their insights about this topic. And I will introduce you to Jamila Zainelzat, our partner from the EST, in order to introduce you to the agenda of today and take you through the nice activities that we prepared for you. So Jamila, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Emin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our event. I'm Jamila Zainelzadeh, the ambassador of the European Student Think Tank to Sweden. Today, we have two great professionals who are here to share their knowledge and experiences with us. Before presenting them, I would like to shortly inform you about some practicalities and introduce our agenda, what we should expect from the event, of course. First, I want to notify you that this event is recorded and we will share it with you and on our platforms so that more people can benefit from the speech of our experts. We kindly ask you all to turn off your microphones in order not to disturb each other in the listening. But of course, feel free to use the chat section for your questions. Javid and Emin will make sure that your questions are answered, delivered to our speakers. We would like to thank all of you for your inputs that you made during registration. We collected all the questions, sorted them, and delivered to our speakers accordingly. So our first speaker will be Stefania Piffanelli, the Deputy Director of the United Nations Information Center in Washington. She has more than 20 years of experience with the UN, academia, and the private sector. She has worked with Secretaries General Ban Ki-moon and Kofi Annan. Moreover, she has rich experience from development sector and gender equality from various parts of the world. And more than that, she speaks French, Italian, English, and some Spanish. We will deliver your questions from chat after her speech, so feel free to write them down. Our second expert is Elin Spector. She is Trainee Program Manager and Employer Branding Specialist of ABB company. She has more than 10 years of experience in human resources area and communication projects. Before joining ABB, she has worked in Microsoft, PwC, and Swedbank. And today she will present ABB company for us, share some opportunities from ABB Sweden, as well as give us some tips how we can be successful in building a career in big companies. So we warmly welcome both of them and thank for their time. After their presentation, we will proceed with quiz game, and the instructions for it will follow right before the start of the game. I suggest to keep some of your questions on CV and cover letter to the quiz, because I'm sure you will learn a lot during the game also. And by the way, the best question owner, the person who wrote the best question, will be announced together with the game winner at the end. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much for your attention and enjoy the event. The floor is Mrs. Piffanelli's now.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Jamila, for the introduction, and thanks to all of you for joining us tonight. I'm very, very pleased that a large group of young people like you has an interest for the United Nations. So what I will be doing tonight is to share with you my experience, and I will tell you how I got a job with the UN. I will tell you what I've been doing at the UN, but I would like to start with a couple of points. I know that you are a group that understands well the United Nations, but again, the UN is a system. I'm sure you know a good chunk of the alphabet soup of the organizations that make the UN system. I work for the UN proper, which is the Secretariat of the United Nations, which is also one of the main bodies along with the General Assembly, the security organs, right, is the word, General Assembly, Security Council, ECOSOC, and so on. But then, of course, there are specialized agencies. The best known are UNICEF, UNDP, WFP, and so on. I'm telling you this because I wish I could tell you that the UN system had a one-stop shop for jobs in the system, but it does not. So I am afraid that you have to do quite a bit of homework if you are interested in the United Nations, a bit of homework to find out what is the organization that is actually of interest to you. And believe me, the system is so broad that no matter what your interest and your skills are, there is an agency in the UN system that would cater to those interests and would be interested in those skills. So I will focus my presentation on what I know, which is the UN Secretariat. The good part about it is that you will hear from me that it's not the easiest to get a job in the UN, but the good thing is that the Secretariat, the place I work in, is the most political and possibly the most complex in terms of procedures to get a job. So basically you are going to get, you know, really the most elaborated presentation. Keep in mind that then jobs in other parts of the UN system tends to be easier and less process oriented to get. Another point that I would like to share with you is that there is much uncertainty of how the work of the UN will look like in a post-COVID space. And this is a good thing for people like you because you are flexible, but keep in mind that what I have been doing up until today may not be the thing of the future. Indeed, the organization is already thinking about positions that will be geographically neutral, and you can perform them from wherever you are in the world. Obviously, there will be another good number of positions that will require physical presence, either at the headquarters in Geneva, New York, or elsewhere, or in what we call the deep field, where we have our operations. The last point that I want to leave with you, it seems to be technical, but it's actually important for you to understand the difference. There are different types of contracts in the United Nations system. And again, for some organizations of the system, it is fairly smooth to move from one category to the next. In the Secretariat, it is not. So keep that very much in mind, because, for example, if you enter as a consultant in the UN Secretariat, it may take time and some creativity to move into, you know, the proper staff of the organization, in the core international civil servant group, which is called the professional category. Those in the professional category, I belong to that category, and I will tell you how I got in. Those are the equivalent of diplomats in the foreign service of your countries, basically. It's a career. You are expected to move every so often to a different place in the world. Those who are consultants are recruited for a specific job. Then, of course, we recruit locally, and those are called G positions. These are more secretarial positions. There is nothing bad with these positions, and if you get a G position in an agency like UNICEF, you can start as a G and then you move into professional categories. You cannot do it in the secretariat. So I wanted to start by giving you, this overview, because I have met many young people like you who undertook a path thinking that there could be opportunities afterwards, and they got stuck into the bureaucracy. So let me tell you a little bit about me. So I am an economist, as Jamila mentioned. I did undergrad at the University of Bologna. I did a master at the University of Bologna, and I did a PhD at NYU in New York. I did a PhD in monetary economics. It was about a monetary union. Of course, that was at the beginning of the European Monetary Union. And believe it or not, I never used a single of the tools that I have studied so hard for later at the United Nations. Park this concept now, and I will tell you more what in my humble opinion is the skill set that is very useful for UN organizations. So I started as an unpaid intern. And here I can already link to one of the questions. Yes, indeed, there are still unpaid interns in some organizations of the United Nations system. Some paid interns, the Secretariat, no. You understood by now, right, that you got the toughest of the organizations from me. We do not have funds for interns. Nevertheless, I have always highly recommended students, people with still a CV that is not very beefed up, to take advantage of internships. And if they are unpaid, they should see them as an investment towards the next step. In my experience, it worked very much, because then, as an Italian, I applied to a program which is called the Junior Professional Officers. This is something that is a very good fit for people like you who are close to graduation, either undergrad or grad. Why is it good? It is good because this is sponsored by governments, not by the United Nations. And governments sponsor these positions at the entry level of the professional category to start having a stream of their nationals into the system. How do you find out if your country offers that opportunity? You will have to do your own individual investigation, starting with probably the web page of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of your countries, because that is usually where the whole process starts. And let me tell you again that without having that internship on my CV, I am pretty sure I would have not been selected for the JPO. It's, of course, there is still much more demand than supply. Hence, whatever that epsilon you can offer in your CV that sets you aside from the majority is what will give you an edge and will allow maybe your CV to be selected. I started as an economist in the part of the Secretariat that does normative work in economics. Since you studied the SDGs, you should know that, I'm sure you know that the SDGs come after years of negotiations among the 193 members of the United Nations. And behind these 193 members, there are little people like me who prepare the background documents, who help them with the negotiations and help them with the final document that was then adopted by the General Assembly. This JPO program I mentioned is usually 1 to 2 years. So after that, I needed to move into something else. And what I did the YPP. And again, forgive me about the alphabet soup. This is the Young Professional Program. And that is really the equivalent of, the exam in the Foreign Service. You again enter the United Nations at the junior level of the professional category, but now as a full-fledged UN official. Before you were sponsored by a government. Through the YPP, you become finally part of this core of this cadre of international officers that work for the organization. I tell you that again, I was invited to the YPP, I am convinced, because in my CV, I had an internship with the UN and I had the YPP, sorry, the JPO. Otherwise, you know, thousands and thousands of people apply. A few hundreds are invited to the written exam. And I'm also pretty sure that I passed the written exam because I was fresh of university. It was a fairly technical exam. It is a super fair and objective process. Later in my career, I got an opportunity to be part of the board of examiners of the YPP. I never knew who was behind the exam that I was grading. So it is really objective, but it is technical. Probably a little bit over technical given the skills that you will need to use later on, but that is how, you know, we screen the new people who are going to join the United Nations Secretariat. And of course, I did it in economics. So my educational background was that allowed me to get into the door. Then it was really you know, entrepreneurial skills that took me to the next step. And this is a point that I like always to reiterate. And of course, you guys know it very well, but because it works equally in the academia, I would say. But in my experience, and I've seen many people have extraordinary careers, become foreign minister, presidents, and so on. And I've seen people do decent careers, but nothing special. And there was no correlation with how strong their hard skills were, their knowledge, their understanding. So the hard skills in my experience are those that allow you to get in, allow your CV to look interesting, but then what makes the qualitative difference are the soft skills. And here there is the whole, there is a whole set of skills that fall into the soft skills category, including networking. And I will tell you a little bit more about what networking looks like at the United Nations. Then, of course, after I did the YPP, I worked for a couple of years and I was ready for a promotion. I thought so, at least. And I started applying. There are no automatic promotions in the United Nations. You have to keep applying. So I applied for positions where I thought I was super well qualified. And do you think I got any of them? Naturally, none. None. I was very disappointed. However, I got a call one day from someone who was working in the office of the Secretary General. And you can, you know, the UN is a bureaucracy, a very, very segmented bureaucracy. And of course, as you would imagine in any bureaucracy, the Secretary General sits at the top floor of the Secretariat building. So it's called the 38th floor. When you get a call from the 38th floor, you stand, you know, you don't even stay on your chair. And this person tells me, you know, I was a panelist in one of the interviews and I liked what you said. Would you like to join us to do this and this? And I couldn't believe it. After all the failures I had faced for jobs where I was really perfectly qualified, here I come and I get a call from the office of the Secretary General, where you are called. You don't go for an interview, they just call you for something that I said, okay, are you sure that that you have the right number? And so I immediately said yes, and there I went, and the job was one of the two coolest jobs I had in the organization. Secretary General Annan, you may recall him, you're very young, but I hope you remember him, had just established for the first time in the UN a cabinet-style decision-making body. Basically, his senior-most officials would sit at the table, discuss one issue, and then the Secretary General will listen, will ask questions, and then will take a decision. Before it was, it was more bilaterally. Those senior officials would go talk to him and he would decide. So he decided to sit everybody at the table to get a broader view of where his leadership colleagues were on certain issues. And my job was to write the policy submissions that would form the basis for the discussion. So it was pretty cool. And because I felt so not prepared for something like that, I worked like a dog. This over preparation, it is something that then I kept with me throughout. I really never wanted to be caught not ready, not able to answer a question. And of course, during these meetings, I was sitting in the back. I was never at the table. And in fact, I was the note taker. But I got to listen to the conversations that were shaping the policy of the United Nations. That was super mega cool. But those are jobs that you really cannot hold for more than a couple of years. It's, 10, 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. You just can't do it, even if I was very young at that time. So because of the status of being someone working on the 38th floor, I was asked where I wanted to go next. And the space that I thought was super interesting was the space of peace building, which was evolving at that time. It was evolving in this sense. The United Nations was doing the whole work on development. When a society is poor, governance structures are not yet fully, developed, but the society is at peace. Then, of course, the UN was working in conflict situations. And of course, I'm sure all of you know, we have around 12 peacekeeping operations around the world where there are blue helmets. And then we have a number of situations where we don't have soldiers, but there is a lot of fragility in the society. And the problem is that these two spaces were basically distinct and they wouldn't communicate much. As a result, data showed that when the peacekeepers would leave a country, of course, it is very expensive to have peacekeepers on the ground, but when they would leave a country too early without a follow-on structure, the likelihood of a country relapsing into conflict was around 50%, pretty high, I would say. So the whole concept of peace building was precisely to transition societies from post-conflict into what we call normal development. And I thought it was super cool because, of course, economics plays a huge role there. When a society emerges from conflict, you have to start from zero, and you have to start very quickly. And you have to make sure that especially young people in society are kept busy. So youth employment becomes a hugely important element in this transitional phase. There is nothing worse, as you know, you have seen, you read newspapers and so on, than an idle society where people have nothing to do. So, and that was my second coolest job at the UN, because I got to work in a country called Sierra Leone in West Africa, which had witnessed a bloody civil war. It was emerging thanks to a very substantial intervention through blue helmets and through, United Kingdom forces. The conflict was tampered, but the society was still very much broken. In this society, the most difficult moment are the elections. In mature democracies, you have a role for the opposition, and of course you have a role for those who get to govern. In societies that are not as mature, they are called the winner-take-all system. If you are in government, you get everything and all the goodies that the country has to offer, and there is very little for the opposition. So obviously in those moments, it is very likely that there is a relapse into conflict because nobody wants to be on the opposition side. And my job was to prepare, along with many others, I wasn't a one-woman show, along with many others, was to prepare for those elections. And my job in particular within the peace-building space was to build the youth wing and the women wing of the political parties. There were two main parties in Sierra Leone, one in power, which wanted to remain in power very much, one basically jobless that wanted to return to power. The way it works is that typically men were in the political parties, women were perceived to be the peacemakers in society, but they didn't have a voice. And the youth was often exploited to generate violence. Hence, the attempt to invest on the youth wings of the political parties and on the women. And it was an amazing experience to see people your age go around the country with their motorbikes and engage population in villages, explaining what they wanted to do, explaining the benefit of democracy and explaining the benefit of peace. Well, that presidential election, I'm happy to say that it went smoothly. And after 4 years, there was another presidential election. In that one, the party in power retained the power. But 4 years later, there was another election in which the opposition actually won, and there was a peaceful transition of power. Something that to many of us seems, regular business, but it is actually not the case in many countries. That was super mega cool. And then again, I was there doing my job on Sierra Leone, happily doing it, and I get a call again from the 38th floor. And I guess, again, I stood up and I answered the phone. And this time they told me if I wanted to go to Washington. In Washington, we have this small office, which is called an information center. What it actually does is government relations and external relations. So we work with the US Congress, with the US administration, the zillion think tanks and NGO that are in Washington, and of course with the World Bank and the IMF. As you may imagine, between the UN and the IFIs, the World Bank and IMF, there are a lot of partnerships that take place at the level of headquarters, but they manifest themselves in the deep field. And I don't have to tell you that, of course, each of the 193 members of the United Nations are all equally important. However, the United States happens to be the top contributor and happens to be also a permanent member of the Security Council. So we definitely need to have the United States on our side if we want to do business. Hence, the government relation in Washington is a key one. And we do that, they are a very prepared government. They know in great detail what we do. They call to task us all the time. So even to do my current job, I over-prepare like crazy. And even when I over-prepare, I only get to a certain point. I give you a concrete example of what I mean. You know that there is a situation, a terrible situation in Yemen. There is a conflict. but there is also a humanitarian crisis. I can explain it only up to a certain point, but then I bring my senior officials sitting in Sana'a to come and explain the situation to colleagues in Washington. And of course, going back, and here I finish, what I said at the beginning and how the work at the UN will look like in the future. Of course, before COVID, those people would jump on a plane, come to Washington, DC, meet with people in person. Now all that is no longer necessary because we have learned to operate in a virtual space pretty smoothly as we are doing today. So you see that could well be the way of the future. Now, to conclude in terms of what I would do if I were today someone like you interested in the United Nations, I would start beefing up as much as possible my CV. How? Getting a proper job at the UN requires getting there. I don't think many people get that job at the UN as their first job. There are different ways. I have already listed the JPO, Junior Professional Officer, super useful. It doesn't require many years of experience. There is an organization which I love, based in Germany. It's called the UN Volunteers. I don't know if any of you has ever heard about the Volunteers. It is an amazing organization. The volunteers are usually younger people. It is a flexible organization which has a segment of their career path addressed to you, precisely to your demographics. And now it's even adapting itself to offer remote careers. So you could potentially, even while studying, apply for a job in the volunteers. Usually these are positions that take you to the deep field, and I strongly, strongly advise you to take advantage of those opportunities, because that is where the UN is at its best, and that's where a young person can thrive. Then life will catch on with you. You may have, a lot of other obligations that will not allow you to go to certain places. Plus, some countries are not the most comfortable in the world. You may have to live in a container, for a number of months. So these are really the two, within the UN system, the 2 entry points. Then there is the whole world of the NGOs. That's a super, super good way to get into the UN. NGOs do amazing work, especially in the deep field. They tend to be less selective than the United Nations when it's time to recruit. They are much less bureaucratic. As I said before, for a number of years, including when I was working for Secretary General Annan, I was always a backbencher. I was taking notes. When you work for an NGO, you tend to be the person in charge of that file right away, and you will be sitting at the big table with UN officials. That's a moment for you to be seen and to shine. And that becomes part of that networking element that is essential in any place in the world, but certainly at the UN, probably more than elsewhere. And here I promise I stop, but be careful, because the UN is a multicultural organization. So networking is an art, but it has to be a super clever art. There are societies where to be very upfront, to be always there is a super plus. There are other societies where you have to be a bit more, subdued. So there, once you are in an international environment, the soft skills kick in, and they tell you how you should approach things. For example, should you reach out to people via LinkedIn or other networks? Why not? But try. First, go maybe gently, and then see how much you could move. But I assure you that if you do a nice research, you are interested in a certain topic, You research who is the person working at that topic. You see what that person writes about, what that person says, and then you reach out to them. They will, chances are that they will get back to you and they will appreciate the outreach. Thank you so much, Jamila and colleagues, for giving me this opportunity. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Piffanelli, and it was a just tremendous and invaluable insights, which we believe that will be beneficial for all of us in the future, but especially those who want to build up their careers within the United Nations. And we would like to continue the session with asking some questions that we got from the audience before the event. And we would like to start with, is it true that the networking is the most important thing in order to get a job or entry-level internships within the United Nations or the agencies related with the United Nations?
I don't think so. I tell you, we recruit interns in Washington, and probably one out to us before submitting their application. But I don't think it's a bad thing. Again, if you show interest, if you show that you are doing your homework, it's a good thing. But even in an application, you can show that you are doing, that you have done your homework and you're not sending just a very standard and generic application that you are sending to other 20 people.
Very nice. Actually, Ms. Piffanelli, we are so happy that the questions that we made before, and you covered most of them, therefore even there is no any space to give you further questions. And thank you very much, and it was very valuable to hear you. And we'd like to continue with Mrs. Spector about how to get a job, hearing the experience from you. The chance is yours.
Thank you. That was really interesting. I got so inspired. Thank you for that. And I'm going to show you a slide deck. I hate slide decks, but I think I can talk while you see some pictures. And please ask questions. Interrupt me at any time with questions. No worries about it. Interaction is the best thing, I think. So let's see. Now we're going to do this in the best way we can. I'm not used to using Zoom since we're not allowed to do that at ABB, actually. But I had to ask our IT manager if I can use Zoom for this. So ABB. But let's start with, who am I? So my name is Elin Spector. I'm a mom of two. Their names are Gustav and Edvin, really Swedish names. I'm married to Petter. We've been a couple since we were young, really young. I'm traveling around the world in my Land Rover Defender with a rooftop tent, and spending a lot of time on my paddle board. I'm also a huge Lego fan. I love Lego. And also, if you see, these are all really inspiring women. These figures here. I actually got them on Mother's Day. And this is also one of my top interests, women in STEM, inspiring women. And then I work at ABB, as you can see, and I get so many opportunities to do fun things, like when I meet you here today. At ABB, I work with employer branding. That means I'm here to find the best talents and to show you all about ABB and why you should start working here. I also work with our trainee program, ABB Discovery. and I work with all our student relations, university relations. I got a master's degree from Uppsala University in business administration. And as you heard before, I've been working at Swedbank and for the most PwC, Microsoft, but also at a university here in Västerås, where I'm based. And here you also can see one of my favorite quotes. So, ABB. ABB is a really big country, and we can find, or company, I would say that we find ABB in over 100 countries. And so it's, we say that ABB is a true global company. And we are working with transforming the society and the industry to be more productive, to work with a more sustainable future. And we've been doing this for over 130 years. As I said, I'm based in Västerås, and here in Västerås, the A in ABB was founded. So ASEA. So if you ever travel here, you will see ABB all over the town. Actually, I have this old robot here, and this is a toy that my husband got in when he was a kid in the early 1990s, and he's here from Västerås. So, and this is our vision, and this is really important for us. I think we're quite cocky when we say that we want to solve some of the biggest global challenges of our time. And this is only possible through our people, because the people within the company, they're the ones that makes the company successful. We have a strong culture of working with diversity and inclusion and equal opportunities. And we want to mirror the world. We want to have people from different cultures, different ages, and all of that. And here we have our purpose, and that is creating success, addressing the world's energy challenges, transforming industries, embedding sustainability, leading with technology. And I can really say that this is what I do every day in my work. And this embedding sustainability, we do it in everything we do, not just when it comes to the environmental part, but in everything. And here you can see that. So we enable a low carbon society. We promote social progress, and we preserve resources. So this is what we're here to do. And we do it with integrity and transparency in all that we do. And here, these are our values. And before I started at ABB, since I'm from Västerås and many of my friends' parents have worked at ABB for a long time, I asked them before the values of ABB. What can you say about that? And all of them told me that ABB is really a value-driven company. So we live our values every day. And whenever of course, there's challenges every day. And when I meet them, I can think about these. Okay, I can be courageous. I can make decisions, and I can fail. That is okay. I feel that my colleagues, they care about me. They care about, actually my first day at ABB was the first day when we got the word that everybody was going to work from home. So I've never been to the office. This is my office. This is my ABB. Because I had everything, my onboarding and all of that in Teams, Zoom. But I have so many colleagues that care about me, that ask me every day, how are you? How are you doing? Can I help you in some way? And we are curious because we are solving problem. That's what we do. We are creative and we solve problems and we collaborate. And this is also something that is really, it's really great. We collaborate over functions within different business areas and over countries as well. So we have 4 business areas, and we have here in Västerås, we have all 4 represented, but that is not the case in all of our cities where we're at. Electrification, motion, process automation, and robotics and discrete automation. And let's see what we're doing. So this is electrification, and electrification, that's the biggest business area when it comes to how many employees we have. And at electrification, we work with smart homes, smart buildings. We work with e-mobility. We work with chargers for both buses, trucks, cars at home. So this is really something that's it's really huge at ABB and in the world right now. Here we also work with, I'm going to show you that, I'm going to talk about that later also, but we have this project way up north with trucks and how to manage, is it possible to have trucks that's electric trucks way up north? Isn't it too cold, or how to do it? And then we work a lot with how to figure out the we talked about that today. When I plug in my car at home, I'm not able to have the dishwasher, the washing machine, the lights on, the TV on, and the car plugged in, because that's not working in my house. So how to do that? We are here to solve problems that we face. Motion. This is drives and motors, and this might seem a bit dull, I would say, but they're super cool and really, really big. And also, if you have been to Liseberg and seen this gyro swing, that is one of our motors and also drivers in that swing. So that is really cool. You can work with the really cool stuff here as well. And process automation. Here we were more with how to be more automation in industries. And this is also the one here we work with technology, software, and the whole from start till end. It's a more of a whole, the delivery can be from motion, robotics, electrification, and then we put it together at process automation and deliver it with the software. And here we have ABB ability, but that you can read up on our website if you want to. And robotics and discrete automation. And the robots, many know about them because it's our brand, ABB, that's robots, basically. And these are, they make the factories and all of that very more efficient in another way. And we have these big industry robots, but we also have these cobots. They're smaller ones and they can help people every day in their work. So why should you work at ABB? I think this is just to sum up what I talked about. We work with a purpose. every day I feel that my work, I'm doing something for the society. Even though I had a bad day at work, when I go to bed, I can feel like, okay, I did good for the society. And then we have this global organization. My manager, I'm a part of a global team. I'm based in Sweden. I'm working for Sweden. But my manager, he's the global employer branding manager. And he's based in Switzerland, but he's from Italy. And my colleagues, they're placed all over the world: China, India, Mexico, the US, Canada, South Africa. So I get the chance to work with different people, different cultures all day. And at ABB, you also will have the possibility to challenge yourself, and you will be challenged at all times. No day is like the other, I can tell you that. And we are a technology pioneer, and you can be a part of that. You can be a part of writing the future. And we're here to take the lead and work together, because that is the way forward. And we truly believe that. So you will be part of an amazing team. So what do we offer? For early talents, we have summer jobs, thesis work at all levels, internships, ABB Discovery, that's our early talent program. Here in Sweden, we call it the Trainee program. We have entry-level positions, and we have here in Sweden, and we're launching it in Italy now, and we're going to launch it in Finland as well, and then other countries. But it's Sustainable Talent Program, and that is a program for young women that study to be engineers. And then we also have a global trainee program within finance and IT. So as you can see, we have a lot to offer you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our trainee program here in Sweden, ABB Discovery. It's 18 months long. We have this open entry, open exit, we call it. That means that you can, it's a custom-made program for you. You can make it whatever you want it to be. So you can create your own adventure. You choose where you want to be during your 3 assignments. So you can be at robotics, and then motion, and then process automation. And then when the program ends after 18 months, you will get a permanent placement somewhere in the business at ABB. So that is why we call it an open exit, because it's nothing is preset. You choose as you please. And here in Sweden, we also have what we call cross business rotation. And that means that you can choose from all our business areas. In some countries, you apply for the robotics track or the motion track. But here in Sweden, you can choose between them, whatever suits you. And after you complete the program, then you have an international assignment. So approximately 3 to 6 months after you started after the program and you started working in your permanent placement, you can go on a short-term assignment somewhere in the world where you can learn more about the work you do here in Sweden. And you will be employed from day one, and it's a fixed, permanent, unlimited contract. And you will be a part of the global trainee community, because now we're launching ABB Discovery all over the world. Sweden was the first country to do it, and now Switzerland has it as well, and we will have it in India, in the US, and so it's going to be more or less the same program. It will be, the structure will be the same. And when you do all of this stuff, you will also get trainings, You will have the possibility to invite managers for dinners. Our CEO met our new trainees yesterday. And you will have the possibility to go to customer visits. Like in Sweden, we have Volvo, LKAB, Sandvik. So there's a lot of things going on when you're a trainee. How much time do I have left? I have so much to say.
13 around like.
What did you say?
13 minutes.
13 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna make it. So I thought I'm gonna talk about this because I saw some questions before, and maybe this could help you to score your dream job, land your dream job. And this is what we call talent value proposition. It's kind of like you are your own brand. So start thinking about yourself in that way and how you want to brand you. Because it's when I get a lot of applications. I see a lot of CVs. And more or less, say you're an engineer and you've been studying at Linkoping University. Today, there's more or less, we have around 5,000 that graduate, engineers that graduate every year here in Sweden. So how could you show that you're the one that we're gonna hire? How are you gonna do that? And that is why I say, think about your core attributes. What do you think when I leave the room? What would I want people to say about me? How would I want them to remember me? Because we all have a degree and we all have competences. But the thing on top, think about that. And use that power, because you are the best in the world at being you. And now I can see, I said word, it's going to be the world. You see that misspelling there? At ABB, you can do mistakes. So how are you going to do this? There's 3 steps that I would like to share with you. And step 1, think about the areas that make you different or distinct. What is your skills, abilities, experience, success stories? Do you have some of those? What is your personality? What motivates you? Your dreams and your passion? What really makes you energetic? When do you lose track of time? Think about things like that, not just stuff you've your degree and what you worked with and all of that. Think about the other parts. And also your values. That is really, really important. What are your values? Think about that. How do you want others to treat you? How do you want to your everyday life? What is important for you? Then review it and write down 3 to 5 key features. And that's going to form your TVP. So it's the same. I showed you before the 5 reasons why you should work at ABB. That is our employee value proposition. But this is from the other side. What is your talent value proposition? What can you contribute to? We're people in this company, and the people in the company, that's the one that makes the company's success, as I told you before. So really think this through. And then storytelling. Be brave. If you have an interview, anecdotes, examples, be you, be authentic, humor, and always don't just say that I'm happy, I laugh a lot, or I'm really I pay attention to the details. But tell me when you were really happy, what happened? Or tell me when you found something within the details that was wrong, that needed to be changed, and then led to a success. So think about it in that way, I would say. So if we put this one on again, this is my talent value proposition. This is how I want you to remember me. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I love Lego, I work at ABB, and I want you to remember me in that way, because that shows what I think is most important in my life. So that is why I always start a presentation with involving my family, because that shows my values. I also have here, equity is not a zero-sum game. And that is also my values, what I believe in. And also the Amelia Earhart quote, dreams. I'm a dreamer. I'm the one that says yes. I'm here for the adventure. So that is my talent value proposition. And that was all I had for you. Let's see if I can stop sharing now.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Ms. Spector, and it was really interesting and valuable, which I believe that will be useful for the people who are attending here in this session. We would like to take you through some questions that we got from the audience.
Yes.
First, we would like to start with one question, and accidentally we also saw the similar question in the chat, which is about how to find companies that are willing to guide candidates on visa process. And does this create disadvantage in the selection process, or what do you think about it, and how would you share your thoughts?
It's different in each country, I would say. It depends on the migration laws. But here in Sweden, we're happy to help people if we find the right competences, because that is something in Sweden that you need to show that this competence, we can't find it anywhere else and things like that. Then we're happy to help you. So yes, but we also have laws in Sweden that, for example, our trainee program, and this is really sad. The migration laws is not working. So if you apply for, it's not possible to be a trainee at ABB Sweden if you don't have a working permit before or working visa. Unfortunately, and I'm so sad about that, but when we want to have our trainee program, we want to have it structured as we have it, and then it's not working, unfortunately.
Nice. Thank you very much for your answer. And next question is more about just finding a job. It is the kind of the specific question. Is it good to be brave and contact people through LinkedIn and introduce yourself, and even when there is no vacancy available, to the person that you don't know, that I am that kind of person, I'm looking for the opportunities? And how does it sound for you? And is that a good thing to do it, or?
It is. I love it. But remember, I love to connect with all of you. So connect with me on LinkedIn. But write something saying, hi, I listened to you on this event, or I found you really interesting, the thing you said about that. Don't just write, hi, I am. Say that I saw your post about this and that. I'm really interested to connect with you because of that and that. Not only here's my CV. But that is also one thing. I'm not allowed to, due to GDPR, that's hard. You have to apply through our new our career site. And I can tell you, we're going to launch a new one tomorrow. If it all, I hope I didn't jinx that now.
Very nice. Just last question.
Sorry for interrupting. Just one small comment. Mrs. Stefania Piffanelli is leaving because of her tight schedule. I would like to deliver my thanks on behalf of all our participants. Thank you very much, Stefania, for being with us. And we wish you good luck in your work. You are really doing a great job. And I believe that you are really a role model for many young women in the world.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you. Bye-bye. Yeah, just the last question from the audience. It is shall fresh graduates sacrifice their purpose for getting a job, and what would you recommend? And should they get whatever opportunity that they're facing, or they should more be selective?
Here I can tell you something. Here's a story from my life. Okay, so I graduated, and I got many from my class or from Uppsala University. There was a lot of recruiters from Ernst & Young, PwC, all of these. We call them the big four or big five. I can't remember right now. And for me, I thought, no, I want to work with marketing. I want to go that way. I don't want to be an accountant, nothing like that. But when I graduated and I saw all of these opportunities that these companies had, I thought that, okay, I'm going to apply for that. And then let's see, I will also be an accountant because that is great for my career. So let's do it. That wasn't great for me, I can tell you. I should have trusted the feeling in my, the gut feeling. I should have trusted myself because that wasn't at all what I wanted to do. I didn't feel well. I didn't have, it was hard for me. And they didn't have the purpose. I didn't work for anything that I felt was a bigger purpose. It was all money and money and money. And there was this hierarchy within the organization. So no, I would say it's hard when you're newly graduate to just say, okay, I don't have the possibility to pick and choose. No, but try it out then, because that is an experience. And I have that with me every day, because now I know what I don't want to do. I know that marketing and things like that, HR, that's that's where I thrive. And also the values of the company, that's so important. And ABB and I, we share the same values.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Then I would like to just ask Elin to take you through some questions that we just faced with chat. And again, thank you very much for your input.
Thank you. Oh no, you're muted.
No worries, I'm here, I'm not disappearing. Thanks a lot, Elin, for sharing. We got a lot of people that are interacting very well. They liked your presentation. They feel really that you shared a lot of very interesting insights. So it's really great that we're connecting also with their needs. So one question that has been asked, which has been that what is your best advice for a professional who already has some years of experience in other countries, but still looking for a first job in Sweden without being really fluent in Swedish? So this person has some experience made in other countries. He wants maybe to start, let's say, his career or experience here in Sweden, but not really speaking very well Swedish. How can he do? Or she do? It's a lady.
Yeah, think about your talent value proposition. That's for you, that's your previous experience. That you're in international, that you're from another country, and use that when you apply for jobs. Swedish at ABB, we speak English all day. So we're an international company. We have our, how do you say, our language, first language, that's English. So as long as you know English, then you will be fine. But think about how you can twist it, how you can tweak it to be something for in your advantage instead.
Nice. So I'll go just with one more question that I think seems interesting and also has been requested by some people. It's about preparation for working to ABB. Is there like some things that are specific that you recommend maybe for having or maximizing your chances, let's say, to be part of your teams or in ABB teams?
I would say in getting involved in student associations, be a part of, for example, career fairs or things like that. Also show that you're willing to learn in other ways, maybe sign up for online courses and things like that. But remember to be honest when you apply for jobs, because otherwise it will bite you in the ass later on. So, I would say that, and also mingle, network, be a part of things like this today. I can see all of your names here, and I'm really good with names. So do that.
Great. I will let Jamila maybe now take us to the next part.
Yeah.
Can I say something more that I forgot? Work on your LinkedIn profile. That is the best way for us to find you. And your talent value proposition, have that in the summary, and also add words with things you want to work with. Add experiences that you think are valuable for us. So we're searching a lot on LinkedIn, so be there.
Thank you very much, Elin. It was really very insightful, and you really motivated, I believe, many of us. So you are more than welcome to stay with us and enjoy the game, but we also understand your tight schedule. So if you want, you can leave, but you are, of course, warmly welcome to stay with us till the end.
Thank you. I need to go to the kids, but thank you very much. Connect with me on LinkedIn, and please, if you connect, write me something that you maybe learned today, or something if I inspired you in some way. Okay? Yeah. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
So great, we are done with presentations, and now it's time for the quiz game. I'm sure many of you know already. You have probably played a Kahoot quiz game, but for those who don't know, no worries, I'm here for you. I will explain it in simple words. So now I will just share my screen. Just a moment. Yeah, can you see my screen, I hope? Can someone answer?
Yep, works, we see.
Great. So please, guys, take your phones or your second gadget, it can be your iPad or another notebook computer, and go to this website. Oh, great. And already knows. Type kahoot.it, and there write game in 7449230. And please kindly write your own name, because for us, if you win, we can easily find you among registrants. But if you haven't registered but got this Zoom link from your friend, no worries. We will share the email so that you can contact, and we will make sure that the winner gets the prize. wait. We have already 10 people. Yeah. When we are more than 30, I will start the game. And the game is very easy. You will not get the question on your phone, but on the computer. And I will also read it loudly so that you hear it. But you just select the correct answer from your phone. And also the answers are not displayed on the phone screen, but again on computer. You have just choices, 4 choices or 2 choices. Colors, you choose the right color according to the computer. So I suggest just allot 1 or 2 seconds to read the question or read the answers, and then type select the correct answer from your phone. And also, please don't wait that if there is, for instance, 19 seconds left, so I can wait and submit my answer on 18 seconds. Don't do it, because the correct and fastest person gets the highest point. So consider it. It's like a race. So I think we are 34 people, but now only 24 registered. Are we all done, or are there people who are still trying to connect? I will give like a couple of 10 seconds, and after 10 seconds, I will start the game.
We would encourage on to join this, everyone to join this game, and I believe it will be so fun, and you will see it, and you will win the prize if you join. And we are encouraging you to join this.
We tried it yesterday. It was so fun. So you really enjoy and win something maybe. I wish you good luck.
Exactly.
Definitely. So, okay, now I'm starting, and I will read the questions loudly. So, yeah, let's go. Start. The first question. The first question is true or false question. Your cover letter should start with a brief summary of your CV. Is it true answer or false? You just select. Hmm. 12 people selected true. Just let me give brief explanation. You should not summarize your CV in your cover letter, guys. This is the common mistakes that many people do. I have been in many career programs, and I really got mentored by professionals, and I heard it from many people, many recruiters, that this is one of the biggest mistakes. The reason that you have CV and cover letter in separate documents, that's the reason, because the recruiter doesn't want to see the same things several times. So you should not start your cover letter with summarizing your CV. It's a false statement. Next question. We'll see who is, wow, Judith is leading from first question, but no worries, we have 20 questions, so you can, anytime, everything can change. Second question is quiz. How many pages are the perfect CV lengths? 2, 4, 7, 0.5. Yeah, majority answered correctly. Yeah, the correct answer is 2. Anna is leading now. The third question, personal details cover such details like name and address, income and savings, height and weight, language skills. I think it's easy question, but still, personal details. Yeah, name and address, correct. Language skills are not your personal details. Anna again. True or false question. Your resume should be as general as possible, so it will not limit your job choices. Is it true or false? I believe our experts covered it, but let's see how well you listen to it. It's false. Yeah, it shouldn't be general, because, for instance, this is the common mistake in United Nations. You should not in one day spend 80 CVs to places, you should spend at least 2 or I don't know 8 hours on your documents, so to make it application specific, the advertisement of the job specific application.
That's nice. Ladies are leading the way.
Yeah, true or false? You must always list references in your CV for each job application. Is it true or false statement? Oh, majority answer true. No, it's not, guys. You don't need to state it all the time. It was also a question that interested me a lot, and I asked many professionals about it, and the answer was ultimately one, that it's fine to state there that upon request or will be provided upon the request, because you cannot contact. The general rule is that you should contact your reference, inform him or her that I am writing your name in my reference part, and you may get contacted for me. So you are informing the person. And if you are, for instance, actively searching for jobs, you are applying for, I don't know, tens of jobs, you cannot call that people or that person 10 times that, yeah, you will get contacted from United Nations, from, I don't know, OECD or from ABB. So that's, you don't have to state your references all the time. If you are requested, if you pass the first stage, you will be informed that your references are needed. So, 6th question, quiz. Which one of the following words is not an action verb to be used in your CV? Trained, assigned, tested, happy. Quick, 3 seconds, 2, 1, 0. Yeah, majority answered correctly. Nice. Oh, Dana is leading now. 7th question. Good references are an important part of the job application. Who is not suitable as a serious reference? Fellow volunteer, previous employer, teacher, family member. Again, it's after you pass the first stage, you will be asked for a reference, and who is not good to provide as a reference. We have 3 seconds left, 2 and 1. Yeah, majority answered right. Family member is not a good reference. You shouldn't provide family member as a reference. Elizabeth, wow. That's intriguing now. Unless you are applying for a senior position, it's better to limit your resume to how many pages? 1, 2, 3, 4. If you are not applying for a senior position, how many pages is better to keep your resume in? Yeah, good. Majority answered correctly. 1 page is the standard. Good. Dana is leading. 9th question. It gives you double points, please. What is applicant tracking system, ATS? Software to track your application status, hiring tool that helps recruiters to filter out unsuitable CVs, malware used to track your location during application filling, internal business tool of Amazon. So be a bit cautious, think a bit. What is ATS? Applicant tracking system. Is it a software to track your application status? Hiring tools that helps recruiters to filter out unsuitable CVs? Malware used to track your location during application filling? Internal business tool of Amazon. What do you think?
I think, Jamila, you did a great job on choosing the questions, because it's very interesting also that people learn about these things that are real. So it's also a very good learning tool to know for application.
Yeah, I really hope
exactly.
that
I agree with this.
you will adjust your documents and your vision of how to apply for jobs after it. Oh, unfortunately, majority answered wrongly. It's a hiring tool that helps recruiters to filter out unsuitable CVs. Let me explain how is it. Even not only big international organizations or transnational companies are using it. Trust me, I have friends who started their startups and they are even using applicant tracking system in their recruitment process. So it's how it works. All the CVs, all the cover letters that you send, I send, and all the people, before they reach recruiter, they pass a software, like a scanning, so to say. So they're filtered out. Is Jamila's CV or Emin's CV suitable for this position or not? If Jamila or Emin is sending like the CV that they send to 80 other places, of course it will be filtered out. It will not reach even the recruiters. So adjust your CV and cover letter to the job advertisement, to the terms of reference. The next question is quiz. Cover letters usually begin with the applicant explaining how they began their education, spent their free time, will benefit the company, found out about the job. How do you think usually cover letters start, or how they should start, so to say? Majority answered correctly. Yeah, found out about the job.
Some new names going up. That's great, the competition.
Yeah.
Intense competition, actually.
True, false question. It's always good to mention skills gained in school, even if they have nothing to do with the job sought. So is it correct that you should always mention your skills gained in school, even if they are not relevant for the job? Is it false or true statement? What do you think? Yeah, majority answered correctly. It's false statement. You should not. You should only list and mention relevant skills. Quiz. Your cover letter should be long and detailed, clear and concise, friendly and funny, colorful and with emojis. Let me know, what do you think?
I like emojis.
Very good. Majority answered correctly. It should be clear and concise. Your cover letter can summarize a key selling point such as your medical history, work history, relevant experience, education. Your cover letter can summarize a key selling point such as your relevant experience, of course. Yeah, majority answered correctly. Quiz. Which of the following is not something that a closing paragraph of cover letter should always contain? Statement that you look forward to hearing from the recipient, request for an interview, statement thanking the employer for considering the CV and cover letter, sincerely, your name and surname. What do you think the closing paragraph, the last paragraph of your cover letter should contain, or should not contain? My bad, sorry. Statement that you look forward to hear back, request for an interview, statement that you sang. Oh, yeah, request for an interview. You should not ask for it in your cover letter. It doesn't matter even in closing paragraph or in other parts.
The last 5 questions now.
Yeah, decisive. Which of the following best describes LinkedIn? A website to share videos of any length, a professional networking site, a photo sharing app, a social network used for connecting with family and friends. You probably have LinkedIn accounts. Great. Elin mentioned it, that it's important platform. True or false question? You can search for jobs and connect with employers through your LinkedIn. Is it true or false? And here you can see in our accounts. Great. Your LinkedIn profile should be like digital scrapbook, photo gallery, detailed resume, dating profile. How do you think? Great. Although some people, sometimes they use it as a dating profile, but yeah, right, guys, it should be detailed resume. Like, just because to keep your CV concise and relevant to the job application, to the sought job, you can add other things like all your skills gained during school or all your activities, all your other experiences in your LinkedIn. So if they want, they can go through your LinkedIn and check your all experiences and all the educational stuff. 18th question, which of the following is right for LinkedIn? You should use it as Facebook. You can post about anything on LinkedIn. You should keep it professional. You should ask people why they visited your profile. Great. Last two questions. What does an all-star LinkedIn profile mean? You got 5 stars from your connections. LinkedIn classifies your profile in a group of leaders. You use premium LinkedIn. Your profile is complete and you are more discoverable. All-star LinkedIn profile. Great. Yes, your profile is complete and you are more discoverable. If you add all necessary information, like all the parts are filled, then you get all-star LinkedIn profile. So I think this is the last question. True or false? You never give up. You will definitely succeed. Great. I truly wish that all of you will succeed. So let's see who is the winner. 3rd place, 2nd place. Who is our winner? Sarp. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Great.
Congratulations for everyone. It was really interesting to see the competition, and we hope that you learned new things that might help you in your job search.
Yeah. Congratulations, Sarp. If you registered through our registration link, then we have your email. Otherwise, please kindly contact us writing the email so that you get your prize. And now it's time to announce the best question. It was really difficult. We had many interesting questions, but our selection criteria was apprehensibility, logical apprehensibility, also linguistic aspect, relevance, and creativity. So the winner is Anna Friedrich. Her question was, is it good to be brave and contact people via LinkedIn and introduce yourself even when no vacancies are listed? So congratulations to Anna also. She is also one of our winners, Sarp and Anna. It was really very nice day today. It's so inspiring to see that so many young people are interested in developing they never give up in career opportunities. So I wish you best of the luck, and I truly believe that you will succeed in your life. Just never give up.
Good luck for everyone.
Yeah, so now we will end our event. I give the floor to my colleagues. If you want to add something, just feel free. The floor is yours.
I think this event went well thanks to all the people, who were in. The people from United Nations and ABB were also very happy to get your interaction. They were really open, for building up this event with you. And as we said, and as they said, feel free to connect with anyone. It might be like an interesting opportunity for all of you, and for you, of course, in your job search. And you can connect with them on LinkedIn and with us. So it will be always a pleasure also to meet you in real life. So we hope that this helped you in your job search also.
Yeah, exactly. I also support my mates, Emin and Jamila. We tried our best to be useful, and we hope that we have been useful for you during this session. And all in all, we are just wishing you the happy weekend. Enjoy your day, and feel free if you want to contact with us, and we will also try to contact all of you which have participated in the event. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, guys.
Thank you very much. Have a nice evening. Bye bye.